Hi, this is Serkan from OneIdentity. In this video, I'll be taking you through the integration between Identity Manager and OneLogin for single sign-on. To start with, I'm going to open up my OneLogin administration portal and go to Applications. You'll see that I have a couple of applications that have already been registered within here. Some of these are OpenID Connect, which is what we use for Identity Manager, and I have a handful of quick links that have been set up with just the additional context ID query string within the URL to navigate the end user directly to a section within the portal. If I open up the Identity Manager application, so we'll just give it a name and logo, and in the configuration, well, you'll see that's OpenID Connect. We've got our login URL that's been added in here with our redirect URIs. And if we go over to our SSO, we'll see the OpenID Connect, the client ID, the secret, and the additional information from there. What we need to do is actually take these details and configure these within Identity Manager. So to do that, I'll show you where we do that. We open up what's called Designer within Identity Manager, which is our configuration tool. And it allows us to add in additional authentication process. So, for example, with registering or creating a new identity provider, we have a simple wizard to go and do that. We can click on the Create New Identity Provider wizard icon. We'll launch the wizard. Click Next. Give it a name. Let's go OneLogin 2. And then we can use the automatic configuration discovery features in here. So coming back into our link, we'll just copy the link for the well-known configuration and just paste that directly into this field and press the discover button. That will automatically go and read the information from the configuration and get those different endpoints for us that we need. Now, I actually have this already set up and configured in my environment. So I'm just going to cancel that and show you the existing one that I have here. You can see that all the different endpoints have been provided along with the shared secret information, including, for example, the search value. So we're looking up the email address, that's coming through from OpenID Connect against, and we're looking for the email address within Identity Manager for that identity, for that person that's trying to log in. We can also define the applications that we're going to use this for. So within Identity Manager, you can have multiple web applications running all at the same time, which can all be pointing back to a single database. Different web applications could be branded differently, for example. So I've got my OneIM web application with the client ID and the shared secret that's been saved within here. Now, like I was saying, we can have, those multiple different web applications, Identity Manager web portals running all at the same time, running all concurrently. So to provide that information over to this web portal that's sitting, or the web application that's sitting on the IDM path that we're looking at here earlier, or the OneIM path, I should say, we go over to the installation folder. So that would be, for example, OneIM in the bin directory, and then we look for what's called the web designer, the config file editor. So with this, what we're going to do is really just tell this web application that we want you to use this application registration for this identity provider. Let me just log in as the administrator here. Cool. And you can see I've got my web project configuration details. And for my web project, I've said that the authentication module I wanted to use is OpenID Connect. We have a couple of out-of-the-box standard options like Active Directory user account, either manual input or single sign-on, so role-based authentication, HTTP header, LDAP auth, and obviously OpenID Connect. So we've got that defined. And just down at the bottom, this is where I've defined, selected the application, the configuration that I wanted to use, so the OneIM web application. So that's already been configured within my web app here. That now enables my web application to go and read the configuration that we've already set up for the identity provider, which will enable single sign-on. Now to show you how that looks from a user perspective, now from an end user side, the end user will see the different applications that have been published on the portal, and you'll see that we've got the OneIM home application that's been published here. By clicking on that link, that will then open up the Identity Manager web application in a new tab, logging in as that current user who's already been authenticated. This is going directly to the main portal. So just directly to the main Identity Manager portal landing page. Using these quick links, we can also have the user directly launch into, for example, a given feature or a function within the Identity Manager portal. For example, like the access requests. It's still the same Identity Manager portal, but we're just automatically launching into the service catalog or into the access request capability within Identity Manager. Or it could be, for example, my profile, to allow the user to go and update information about themselves. So that was it. So that's the process of enabling or configuring single sign-on between OneLogin and Identity Manager.